Hey everyone. So, if you've ever read Who Moved My Cheese, you probably remember wondering about the one character who just refused to change. Well, Out of the Maze finally tells his story, and let me tell you, it is a powerful lesson in what it really truly takes to get unstuck. I mean, you know that feeling, right? When the rules suddenly change, the ground shifts right under your feet, and you're just left, paralyzed, wondering what on earth you're supposed to do next. This story, well, it's for anyone who's ever felt exactly that way. Okay, so let's do a quick refresher on our two main characters. On one side, you've got Ha. He hesitated for a bit, but then he ventured out into the maze, found new cheese, and he adapted. And then you've got him. He's the one who stays behind, absolutely convinced that things will go back to the way they were. Our story today? It is all about him. So our story picks up with him, all alone at the now empty cheese station C. His friend is long gone, the cheese has vanished, and pretty much all he has left is his own frustration. And, these ghosts of how things used to be. And Hem's mindset here is just so key. He isn't just sad, he's angry. He feels wronged. He's totally trapped in this loop, just replaying his anger over and over, completely convinced the world owes him a return to normal. He's literally waiting for a past that is never, ever coming back. And this is where the story really gets to the heart of its message. See, Hem thinks the problem is the missing cheese, or that his friend left. But the real problem, the thing that's truly trapping him, is something way closer to home. This dream he has is such a powerful metaphor. He wakes up completely confused. I mean, why would he dream he's a prisoner in his own house? This is that first little crack in his certainty. The first time he starts to question not his circumstances, but himself. The whole story really hinges on this one simple but really profound idea. A belief. It isn't some fact that's carved in stone. It's just a thought. A thought that you have decided to trust is true. And for him, the thought, my cheese is supposed to be here, has become his trusted reality. And it's that very trust that's got him trapped. And boom, this is the breakthrough. Him finally realizes the prison bars aren't made of iron, they're made of his own beliefs. The ideas he trusted about how the world should work were the very things that were blinding him to how it actually works now. So, just when Hem is at his absolute lowest, a brand new character enters the maze. And this is the real turning point, the moment an outside perspective shows up to challenge his entire worldview. Hope finds Hem when he's at his weakest, and she offers him something just completely foreign, an apple. Now, for someone whose entire world is literally defined by cheese, this offer is so far outside his reality he can barely even process it. And right here, you can see that belief in action. It's not just a preference for him. He states it like it's a law of physics. I only eat cheese. This is the thought he trusts. This is a bar on his prison window. And it's so strong that he's actually willing to starve to death rather than question it. But then, his hunger, his desperation, it finally overpowers his rigid thinking. And in this moment of pure instinct, before his old belief can scream no, he just acts. He takes a bite of the apple. This is that crucial moment where a simple action breaks the whole cycle of thought. And the result is immediate. It's undeniable. Not only does the apple not poison him, it actually makes him feel a little better. His longest-held, most trusted belief that only cheese could keep him going is just proven false, in a single bite. And that one little experience changes absolutely everything. So that one bite just opens the floodgates. Ham starts to think, okay, if my most fundamental belief was wrong, what else might I be wrong about? And this is where he really starts the process of changing his mind. All of a sudden, that message his friend Hall left on the wall, it finally clicks. It makes sense. New cheese isn't just a physical thing you go find, it's a whole new mindset you have to adopt. You just can't get to a new destination using an old, outdated map. Now this is so important. Hem was terrified that if he changed his beliefs, he would somehow lose his identity, that he wouldn't be Hem anymore. But what he discovers is that the exact opposite is true. Changing your mind doesn't change who you are at your core. It actually liberates you to become a more adaptable, more effective version of yourself. So the book boils this all down into a pretty simple 4-step process. First, just become aware of your beliefs. The facts you just take for granted. Second, take a look at them. Which ones are actually holding you back? Third, get curious about the impossible, like, trying an apple. And finally, consciously choose a new belief to guide you, one that serves your future, not your past. So what happens when Hem actually puts this new understanding into practice? Well, he and Hope decide to do something he'd never even considered before. They start looking for a way out of the maze entirely. Remember that list of facts that Hem wrote down at the very start of his journey? He believed these with absolute 100% certainty. They were the foundation of his entire reality. But let's take a look at what actually happened. And this just shows you the power of a new perspective. Every single one of his facts turned out to be completely false. The thing he was sure would kill him actually made him stronger. The place he thought was dangerous was actually the way out, and the isolation he felt was replaced by friendship. Amazing. This is the final, beautiful realization for him. The physical act of leaving that stone maze was an exact parallel to the mental act of leaving his limiting beliefs behind. The real journey, it turns out, was internal all along. And this, right here, is the big takeaway for all of us. We so often blame our circumstances, our job, our industry, our relationships, for why we feel stuck. But what this story suggests is that the real maze, the one we really need to escape, is the one that's built by our own thoughts. So as we wrap this up, I'm going to leave you with that exact same question from the source material. Think about the beliefs you hold as absolute facts. Are they lifting you up, or are they holding you down? What maze, what prison of belief do you need to find your way out of?